Hey guys, Lightane here, and it is December. This is like one of my favorite times of the year. The high festivities, the generosity, the love, the celebrations, all of it. I just absolutely love everything about Christmas. And I'm not the only one. Christmas is so famous that even department stores decide to put up all their Christmas decorations for sale 2 months before the day actually comes. And with such a huge influence, it is no wonder that Hollywood decided to make movies based on the Christmas holidays. So today I'm going to be looking at a movie that I think captures the Christmas spirit. It has excitement, it has joy, it has hardships, it has colors galore, and it also has a very, very special, memorable line. That's right, today I'm going to be looking at the Christmas classic, Die Hard. Die Hard was a film made in the height of the 80s action film genre. Released in 1988, it stars a very young Bruce Willis who plays a New York cop named John McClane. McClane is visiting his estranged wife in California at a Christmas party in the Nakatomi building. He really doesn't want to be there, but he's only doing it to see if he can patch up the relationship between him and his wife, and really for his children. If that's not interesting enough, things get more interesting when Hans Gruber, played by the late Alan Rickman, who is also looking extremely young in this film, even though he's actually 41, crashes the party and starts killing people. He is trying to get into the vault at the top of the building where our vast wealth is. McClane is lucky as he is in a different part of the building when the bad guys arrive and start shooting up the place. His cop skills kick in and he goes through the building investigating the bad guys and trying to get outside help while taking out as many of them as he can. He eventually grabs the cops' attention by politely showing them one of the terrorists and becomes friends with the cop, played by Reginald Val Johnson, but I'll always remember him as Carl Winslow. Bruce Willis goes through so much shit trying to stop these bad guys with explosions and bullets galore, and he never even has a chance to put on some shoes. And the worst part is, he never even wanted to be there. He was just the right guy that rose up to the occasion and just refuses to die hard. A lot of the 80s action films had high intensity, high action, big explosions, lots of creative deaths, and they had really, really macho men like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. For this film, the filmmakers really wanted to do away with the trope of the Superman. If you watch Rambo or Commando or Predator, these films have just larger than life action stars with giant set pieces, and as you watch through these films, each one of the heroes goes through everything and barely gets a scratch on them, and they do some incredible things before the end of the film. They are superhuman. There is no way any normal person could have done any of those things. McClane is a more troubled person. He has a strained relationship with his wife and kids. He has a lot of self-doubt. He just happened to be in the building at the right time, and he thought to himself, if I don't do something, no one else will. This grounds the character so well and actually leads to some of the humor of the movie, where McClane is talking to himself and putting himself down and constantly going, why am I doing this? What am I doing? Being an action film, there are a ton of great scenes and effects to watch. One of my favorites is when the C4 is triggered in the main hallway and the explosion is just way over the top. I also love the fight scene between McClane and Carl, who is after McClane because he killed his brother. They're at odds through most of the film, and when they finally fight, it turns into just this slog match with both of them tired and just trying to hit each other. It makes it feel like a slightly more real fight and just shows that the night has been long for the both of them. Alan Rickman plays a great villain. He is calm and collected through most of the film, but he honestly thinks that he is better than everybody else. He has the plan, and by gods it will go accordingly because he made it. This pompous behavior is amplified when his plans start to go awry, and he gets so annoyed. I like that Hans and John don't even meet each other until like 3/4 of the way through the movie, but they still talk to each other over the walkie-talkies and learn to hate one another. So when they first actually meet, Hans puts on an American accent and pretends that he is someone else in order to learn about John and see if he can kill him. This makes for a great interaction between the two characters, which could never have happened if they had met previous. One of the major gripes I have with this film is the length of it. It is a 2-hour and 12-minute film, and by gods, it is so slow at the beginning. While there are many things to see and there are quite a few main characters and side characters, I just think that they should have cut back on some of the story. The bad guys don't even enter the film until nearly 20 minutes in, and McClane doesn't even start doing anything about it until 30 minutes into this film. So much of the start should have been cut down. It is very slow and awkward and a lot of random exposition and bad humor. I've known people that have turned it off due to the slow start, and I myself have actually fallen asleep whilst watching this film. One great and really peculiar detail in this film is that McClane goes through the vast majority of the adventure without any shoes on. This is a running joke, and it's actually pretty smart on the filmmaker's part. This was how reluctant John was to be a hero. He didn't even have time to get shoes on. Also, surprisingly, this is a Christmas film. It is set at a Christmas party just before Christmas, and there is a lot of Christmas theme in this film. McClane's first kill has ho 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 written on the guy's jumper. Near the end of the film, he uses Merry Christmas tape in order to hide a gun. Picking such a joyous holiday to put an action film in is actually a pretty smart idea to play with some of the tropes and some of the ideas of what Christmas is. Die Hard is, in my opinion, worth it. It has great action and great characters. John McClane and Hans Gruber are just so amazing to watch. When they're by themselves, when they're interacting with each other, it is just such a joy to see them go through this film. I particularly love the faces that Hans pulls when these dumb Americans try to talk to him. He is just so bewildered and going, what the fudge. The supporting characters are actually pretty memorable, and there's a lot of subplots weaved into this film, which is pretty unusual for an action movie. While it is not perfect, it is highly entertaining, and even though the beginning is slow, it more than makes up for it later on in the film. It also gave us one of the most famous one-liners in movie history. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. So guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'd like to hear what you guys thought about the Christmas movie of Die Hard. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you thought it was too slow, or maybe the sequels are better, let me know down below. Anyways, bye!